Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, August 25th, 2016. I'm Maffern Fraser with the details. A concessionary loan agreement of $8.2 million was signed here earlier today between the government of SVG and the CARICOM Development Fund, the CDF, for the establishment of a solar photovoltaic renewable energy project at the Argyle International Airport. Noting that the government had previously received funding from the CDF of about $630,000 for the procurement of equipment for a stone crushing plant at the AIA, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves thanked the CDF for its continued involvement in the development of the airport. He outlined that the solar project will aid in the reduction of energy used at the international airport.
Electricity out here would be somewhere between $3 and $3.5 million US. Sorry, EC. $3 and $3.5 million EC per year. So that it is important that we have a fair amount of renewable energy, particularly if we get the money cheap or by grant. Because if we get the money by grant, it means that we don't have to worry about the repayment, and therefore the question of the comparative advantage which you will get with having it here rather than get the electricity directly through Vinlec through the usual way.
Dr. Gonsalves pointed out that the project will be managed and operated by this country's electricity service provider, Vinlec, which has implemented similar solar facilities.
And they did that by themselves with employees who were doing their usual work. So you can see what that they had to put in about 2,200 inverters and about 22,000 panels. It's a big exercise you all have to do down there, a huge exercise. In fact, what they've done down there is more than what we are going to be doing here. And the technology is getting better, and they're getting better with the technology. And it's getting cheaper. This money which we are getting is to put in, I've been advised, about 281 kV, which is about 15% of what the needs would be.
Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, Arnim Eustace, is confident that there are gains to be made from his party's move to form diplomatic ties with the People's Republic of China. Earlier this week, the NDP leader made the declaration at the party's headquarters during a media conference that the NDP will be adopting the UN's One China policy, thereby severing ties with the Republic of China on Taiwan. The announcement came as a shock to many, as this country has over 35 years of diplomatic ties with the ROC. On radio today, Eustace reiterates that China is a leader in trade and investment, and this will work to enhance SVG's economy.
So you have to recognize the movements that are taking place and adjust your policies
to suit those movements.
We are a small country. China is the second largest economy in the world. Their economy is not counted in millions of dollars or billions of dollars, but in trillions.
Truth.
In trillions. And they are asserting themselves more and more in the world. And they're recognized by most of the countries in the world. We have chosen over the last many years to recognize Taiwan. We have decided as a party that we are not doing that anymore, in our own interest, the interest of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The NDP leader further points out the criticism that his party is ungrateful by moving away from the ROC is inaccurate.
This has nothing to do or say against Taiwan.
Okay.
I appreciated what Taiwan has done over the years that we have had good relations. But that is not how we see it today. given the changes that are taking place in the world. And we reserve the right. It is our right as a party to make a determination with whom we have our relations. It's our right. Right? And we have decided we're going now for a one China policy. And he also talk how we are ungrateful and so on. That's irrelevant. We are appreciative of what Taiwan has done for us. We know that. We're not ungrateful. Hey, Mr. Straken, they're making a whole set of noise. As far as I'm concerned, he said a lot of nonsense.
Eustace says the talks of scholarships ending for Vincentian students studying in the Asian country is also propaganda.
Now, I'm aware that 50 university students from Grenada are in China. 50.
And China has relations with,
yes,
with Grenada.
Grenada. I was told by a Grenadian who would know, yes, just yesterday, that they now signed an agreement to build 200 houses in Grenada. So what I'm saying, when we make the change, we have to take all these factors into consideration. We're not going to make a change for change's sake. You make a change if you feel the change will make you better off.
Leader of the Democratic Republican Party, the DRP, Anisi Batiste, believes that the attack on her character by both the media and politicians are merely distractions from the real issues affecting the country. Recently, Batiste was heavily criticized for her stance on the Cybercrime Bill 2016, calling for it to be repealed. The DRP leader maintains that the adoption of the new piece of legislation will impede freedom of speech in this country and that citizens should carefully examine what is spewed by learned persons as the truth.
Law is made for everybody. The law is made for the common man, as well as the man with a law degree, as well as the person who has years of experience in law or not. It is for everyone. And whenever persons start positing the idea that there is only an elite or illuminated few who have some right to rule and control people's thoughts and tell them what they can and can't understand and tell them what they can and cannot question, it is those persons that the people have to be most afraid of. Because when people start claiming that only a certain person has monopoly on knowledge on a certain topic, those are the ones we have to be afraid can trick us, especially when they insist that nobody can challenge them. And so that's a warning to Vincentians.
Batiste says a number of persons, including both the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, and former Attorney General Parnell Campbell QC, have flawed interpretations of the Cybercrime Act.
We must be able as leaders in a society to be able to explain things to everyone, to the common man, and the common man who's being governed by the law must be able to understand it, must be able to criticize it, must be able to point out things that are wrong about it. And that is the position I maintain, that QC and the Prime Minister are wrong when they declare that all of the provisions in the law are constitutional. We do have provisions that are inconsistent with our constitutional freedoms inside that Cybercrimes Act that was just passed.
Residents of Beckway are benefiting from the Public Health Department's volunteer pilot program, which attempts to boost the efforts of the department and the Ministry of Health to tackle the Aedes aegypti mosquito, the known vector of the Zika virus. SVG Television's Barvin Oliver was on the island yesterday to get a first-hand look at the work being done and filed this report.
Volunteers attached to the Public Health Department have been employing various mosquito eradication techniques on existing mosquito sites around the premises of the residents of Beckway. Environment Health Officer Shamanti Laban explained that unlike the mainland, residents of Beckway and other Grenadine Islands rely heavily on rainwater for survival, and this factor makes it critical that residents properly safeguard their water capture devices from mosquito larvae infestation.
So, in St. Vincent, CWSA will provide the public with potable water, whereas in Beckway, individuals have to harvest their own water from the rain. Not only Beckway, but the Grenadines as a whole. So it's very important that you check the householder's compound to check for mosquito breeding sites. So basically what we did last week was we checked around for breeding sites. So this week what we're trying to do is try to mesh those those containers to prevent mosquitoes from actually entering into those containers and breeding. So we're looking to reduce the mosquito population, which in turn will help to reduce the spread of mosquito-borne diseases.
Laban illustrated a technique which is presently being used by the volunteers to not only destroy mosquito larvae, but to conserve water as well.
So the volunteers, what they're doing is that they met a drum that was breeding heavily. So we didn't want to just throw away the water that was breeding because it's Beckway, and as you know, water is a scarce resource on the island. So what they're doing is that they're sifting the water basically to take out the larvae and any other debris, exoskeletons from the adults and all that. So what would be left remaining will be just the water.
Laban also explained the biological means which is being implemented to tackle mosquito larvae in residents' tanks and their other water storage devices.
To reduce the mosquito population, it doesn't include only meshing the drums, but it's also very important that you mesh your overflow of your tanks as well, because mosquitoes, they can get into any tiny spaces that's available. It's also you can also use biological control methods, which includes the use of fish. It's popularly known what we usually call million fish. The fish will actually eat the larval stage of the mosquito, so then it wouldn't be able to reach to that mature stage, to an adult mosquito, where it becomes the vector and it's able to transmit diseases.
For SVG Television Evening News, I am Barvin Oliver.
Meanwhile, SVG-TV caught up with some residents of Beckway who expressed gratitude to the Public Health Department for their work toward the eradication of the mosquitoes' breeding sites.
You know, as we know that the Zika right now is, especially for people that are pregnant, it's really reaping havoc, and you know, it's sad to know that just because, as they say, mosquitoes, that this thing is causing such, you know, serious concern. So it's good that y'all are bringing young people on the board to help away and enlighten the people about how to control the breeding of mosquitoes.
I think all are doing a good job for keeping with the disease from the young kids and the big ones. So that is a good job all are doing. And I hope in the future I'll continue. Without the Zika not come around the same time and do the same thing.
It's a good thing. You know, but they have so no places around like so no drains around, like I see they don't really get to, and they just only like pass and do it, but you get so no place they don't really, so no drains they don't really get to for clean out, and so still they're doing a good thing.
Well, I tell you, it's a good idea. So much feel good. So if they find any dangerous mosquitoes around me, they get rid of them.
Very good thing.
You feel safer?
I feel safer, very much so. Very safe at night.
With the start of the new school year less than 2 weeks away, the Public Service Union has come to the assistance of a number of students here. At a ceremony on Wednesday, the union's first Vice President, Leroy James, said they saw it as a fitting venture to award the children of members who were successful on their CPEA examinations. James noted that real financial constraints prevented the PSU from fulfilling the dream to award every applicant.
4 of those scholarships were based on performance, and the other is a disadvantaged scholarship. However, to those applicants who were not successful in gaining a scholarship, the bursary was provided. Hence, it means that all applicants will be provided with something, no matter how small. For an organization that is struggling financially to stay financially afloat, that is commendable. Presently, we are trying to build a new headquarters, but yet we see it fit to have these annual ceremonies where we can continually invest in the youths of our members.
The PSU First Vice President further urged the awardees to make the full use of the opportunities now available to them.
Today, We are living in an environment where students can be almost anything they want to be. No longer does the majority of students who finish college merely go job hunting and are satisfied with gaining employment. Most of them are seeking the opportunity to further their education through universities, whether near or far. Such is the time that we are living in. So I urge you to make use of the opportunities that are presented to you. The only thing that comes without effort is old age. So you want to make something of your life? First of all, you need to set goals. You need to set standards. And secondly, you need to make a conscious effort to achieve those goals. Because as I mentioned before, the only thing that comes without effort is old age.
The ceremony saw 5 scholarships awarded and over 20 bursaries. Members of the public were recently presented with the various products and services that are offered locally through the Court St. Vincent Limited. Speaking with SVG-TV News, Lisa Vera said that the idea behind the Court's fair was to sensitize the public to the wide variety of products and services that can be accessed from many of Court's SVG Limited's partners.
Is always thinking outside of the box. We're always coming up with very innovative ideas. Last year, for example, we launched our optical department where we're now offering glasses for persons where you can get free eye testing, you get up to 24 months to pay for your glasses. And this is a new initiative that we've taken on. We are now partnering with a number of business places where we are offering to you items that we're not able to carry on our range. So for example, if it is that you need to get a car part or you need to get materials to fix your house, we don't carry these items. We'd love to, but we can't. So you can come, check with business partners, see if you qualify for the sales financing. We pay the amount up front once you qualify and you just pay quotes back. A small monthly amount to the tune of the amount that we have paid up front for the items. It's a win-win situation.
Credit supervisor at Courts SVG Limited, Lucetta Mapp, said the idea behind the fair was to showcase products and services which are not currently offered by courts.
The thinking behind today's trade fair is a relaunch, really, of our sales finance product. We had a soft launch of it last year. We tested it in the market, and now we've gotten a couple of our vendor partners to be here with us today on site, right here at the Old Public Library building, as we fondly call it, so that our customers can come in and be more aware of what our sales financing is and how it can benefit them as individuals and also our vendor partners.
And our news team caught up with several of the vendors at the fair who expressed gratitude for the opportunity to display their products and services.
I think this fair is going to help promote our business. People are going to be more aware that there is an insurance company called Head of Insurances that provide this basic cover, and we have good rates, and it's going to be a push because more people are going to visit the store and we're going to promote what we do and expect to see them coming across at our
We have social moments, we plan events, weddings, parties, baby showers. So this fair from Courts, which trade show, allows the public to see our talent. It allows us to display our creativity.
We offer coverage. We also do employers liability. We do cash insurance. We do professional indemnity insurance. And any type of insurance that you need, we offer. As our logo states, we've got you covered. You cannot afford to pay the premium. That's where Courts financing comes in. You can get your premium paid through Courts, whether 6 months, 1 year. The premium can be paid within 36 months. You have to choose your choice of premium.
Finally, we would like to thank Courts for having us here, having this trade fair, so that we'll be in a central location. Because as you know, Fine Things is located in Allen Vale, and it's good to be in Kingston where we have the Kingston traffic, so people people can know that fightings exist and that we have lovely things for your home and your office.
Steel. We have electrical plumbing, we have toilets, windows, doors. Basically everything that you need if you're building or renovating. And what Courts Ready Finance does is allows our customers and new customers to go into courts and get the money that they need to get the items that they require from general handlers.
Put us on the market just because a lot of people don't really know about us. So it's a very good idea. Thanks to Courts for giving us the opportunity to display what we have. So just basically puts us out there to let Vincentians know that there's a quality store in St. Vincent where you can get quality products, genuine leather, yes, on anything you're looking for you can find.
The Camp Fantastic School Summer Program, which was held at the Newgrounds Primary School, came to a close on Thursday. The program, which commenced on August 16th, was organized by the South Central Windward Education and Youth Development Organization and catered to participants of ages 5 to 16. Nolisha Miller tells us more on the closing ceremony in this report.
Fantastic this year attracted some 130 participants from the South Central Windward constituency. The camp was organized by the South Central Windward Education and Youth Development Organization and was held under the theme Investing in Our Youth for Brighter Tomorrow. It was focused on activities such as craft making, sports, music lessons, professional etiquette and educational tours to the botanical gardens and Fort Charlotte. Minister of National Mobilization and Youth, Frederick Stevenson, told audience at the closing ceremony that it is important for the youth to participate in initiatives of such nature as it contributes significantly towards their holistic development.
You have a role to play. You are not the children of the future. You are the children of today, and you have to play that very important role in St. Vincent and the Grenadines' development. I want to applaud the young men who play the recorder. Let's give them a round of applause. I hope that one of these days I can look back and see them in the police band, playing alongside the police as you grow older and develop.
Area Representative Sabota Caesar urged the participants not to forget what was learned at the camp. He added there is a vision for the long-term development of the program.
You have a very important role to play in your own development. You have to study hard. You can't be distracted. When your teacher is speaking, you have to pay what? Attention. Pay attention.
Caesar further announced that Camp Fantastic have plans to contribute to the Christmas festivities and that he hopes to see the participants mature to be future volunteers of the program.
We are going to have a Christmas Fantastic concert right here at the Newgrounds Primary School. This fantastic program is going to go on for many, 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 many years. And one of these days, you are going to come back here as a volunteer to help children who then will be your age to carry out this program.
Principal of the Newgrounds Primary School, Sheldon Govaya, commended the camp's organizers, noting the volunteers were exceptional in dealing with so many children. He further urged the participants to make the best use of the remainder of the summer vacation by doing something educational. Nolisha Miller, The Evening News.